Hey, well, I'm not gonna keep y'all, so let's keep on pressing. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're doing this a little different. A little different. So, guess what day it is? It's Monday. Ow! Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations. I am your host, Quita. So, if this is your first time joining us, let me say welcome. This is the opportunity where I take various topics and then I use them in a different kind of way to make sure that people see things from a different perspective and also to be more resilient. So it's just the opportunity to showcase what it means to bounce from one area and be able to look at it from another, a different perspective. So with that being said, if this is not your first time and you are a return, guess what? You came back for your bi-weekly. Hey, how you doing? You came back for your bi-weekly hookup. Let me give you a fill up real quick. Welcome back, Resilient Warriors. Woo! Resilient Warriors, welcome back. So, without further ado, let me not hold y'all up because I know time is of the essence. Thank you so much for my followers on Instagram. I thank y'all for joining in. I thank you for my people that joined in on Facebook Live. Thank you once again for taking the time out of your wonderful Mondays just to hear what we're talking about today. So, what do you think? In the comment sections, just go ahead and let me know. When you heard the topic, track star, what was you thinking? I mean, it is Olympics time. It is a time where we're looking a lot at track and field. This is the time where we're finding out about people that can't do it because of COVID, that can't do it because of drug use or whatever. What did you think today's topic was going to be about when you seen the words track star? So in the comments, go ahead and let me know what you're thinking. I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes to think. So while y'all are thinking, I really want you to think about, when we're talking about resilience, what racetrack could really be, right? Okay, there you go. Running towards your goal. Exactly. That's one of the many things when you're talking about a track star. Of course, they are running towards a intended goal, right? An intended end, right? So when it is time for us to really be running, there's a lot of things that you could be running to or running from. I'll just throw that out there. Get it to you. So let me see. What else y'all got? I'm giving y'all a couple minutes to go ahead and give me what you got. This is the opportunity for you to chime in because I don't want it to be a one-sided conversation. I would love to be able to converse with you, meaning that I like to hear from you too. Yes. So if you see behind me, I do have some of my paintings on the floor behind me. Don't worry about that. It's just the opportunity to showcase some of my other crafts, my many crafts. So when we were talking about, pacing yourself. Okay, that's a good one. Whenever you're running, depending on if you're doing long distance or short distance, you still have to pace yourself because what happens if you don't pace yourself, you burn out quick, right? And we don't want to burn out quick in this thing called life. So pace yourself is a good one. So when we have to prepare for the race, what are some of the things that you think you have to do in order to prepare for the race? So before the race even begins, what do you have to do to prepare for it? What do y'all think? So the first one I'm just going to go ahead and throw out there is you got to exercise. You got to be prepared to work, right? So you got to exercise. And in order for us to really showcase the thing that it is that we want to perfect as far as our craft goes, you have to practice. You have to work hard for it. You have to go in for it. You have to, you can't just give it bits and pieces of you. You have to give it your all if you really want to be successful, and to be able to take that back and say, this is what I did when I worked hard. Practicing daily to prepare. Very good. Thank you so much, Will, for your comment as well. So practice makes perfect. We've been learning that since we were younger. Of course, there is nothing that is perfect, but let's get as close to perfect as we can, right? So that means that we have to put forth our best foot forward. When we're putting forth our best foot forward, whether that be a leader, whether that be relationships, whether that be friendships, whether that be business partners, whether that be spiritual leadership, whatever that might be, when it comes time for you to become better, what are you doing to become better? What are you doing? You have to exercise. You got to practice. You got to keep on working at it. I cannot be a better Quita than I was yesterday until I practice what I did yesterday and then try to make it better. Every day I should be learning to make it better. Every day I should be challenging myself to do better than what I did today, if that makes sense. Okay? So getting familiar also with the different tools that you might have to use in order to become better. Okay, so if you want to practice being a millionaire, what do you have to do? You got to find whatever tools that a millionaire would use in order to track their money, in order to discipline themselves, whatever that might be. In order to be a millionaire, we need to be practicing that same thing. If we want to be a better spouse, then we need to look at the spouses that are out there that are doing the things that we want to do, and we need to be practicing that very thing. How are they treating their spouse? How are they treating their children if we want to be better parents? So we need to look at what equipment or what people we want to take from and say, I need to be able to utilize that in order for me to become better so I can run my race, right? My individual race. Before I can run that race, I have to learn how to use these tools. I have to learn how to implement them into my life, right? So, also looking at the things that we eat and drink. When you're running, you can't just eat everything. You can't eat no McDonald's thinking you're going to win a race, baby. Right? You got to be balanced. And somebody just got on me yesterday because I said, well, I'm having some chicken and rice. And they said, well, where your greens at? And I was like, I ain't got time for that. I'm tired. I ain't getting ready to get up and make nothing green. Ain't nothing green easily accessible. They said, see, and you talking about being balanced, you got to follow your own rules. So I was like, So you got to think about that, right? When it's time for us to be better, we have to realize what we're putting in our bodies. We have to realize what we're eating, what we're drinking, because some things, if you have low libido, you got to eat the right things to build up that libido. If you eat the wrong things could weigh us down, right? The right things could give us energy. If you drink the wrong things, what happens? It can alter your mood. It can make you more aggressive, or it can make you too agreeable. If you don't drink enough water, what happens? Your organs start to act up on you. Your kidneys start to shut down. Everything is sluggish because guess what? You're not giving yourself enough water. So what we put into our bodies also can make a big ordeal as far as what will we be getting back in order for us to win our race. We can't go on if our lives are not healthy. What about rest? I had to look off, right? Because that rest thing is not for me. I rest when my body says, you ain't got no other choice but to rest. All right? So when that happens, sometimes when you're trying to run a race, if you continue to run, what do? You burn out. And then you lose out on being able to run that for the long haul. So if I had to run a marathon, but then I sprinted as if I was doing a 100-meter dash, what's going to happen? Right? Eventually, I'm going to burn out. And so what we want to do is make sure that we are looking at resting our body so that way when we are running to win the race, that was a tongue twister for me, running to win the race, we are making sure that we're taking care of ourselves in ways that are not just the traditional ways, right? But also the spiritual, mental, emotional, what are we putting in and what are we expecting to get out of our bodies, okay? What about listening to mentors or spiritual advisors or guidance counselors, therapists, friends, parents, right? Sometimes we got to take time out to listen because they are giving us good advice. Other inspirational speakers, other motivational speakers, right? Take time out and just take the meat from what they're giving you and spit out the bones. Only take what you need, because what you need is really going to give you the opportunity to say, this is what's going to make me better. I realize that I'm kind of lacking in these areas, so I'm going to take this and make it and help to make me better. And I think at least, whenever we can take the good and spit out the bad, or take what we need and give the rest back, or give it to someone else that may be in need of it, we are still spreading the wealth. We are still giving back. We are still showcasing the good of winning the race. That's kind of like passing the baton, right? When you're running the race and you have to pass the baton, you say, okay, I did what I had to do, and now it's your turn. You take it. Right? And it's all about a rhythm, right? If you throw it off, then the person, when they are not looking and they have their hand back, waiting to receive that gift that you have for them in their hand, they're going to miss it. Then it's going to fumble, it's going to throw them off. So make sure that you are ready to pass off those good qualities on to the next person. All right? The last one I really want to hit on real quick before I go into tips is talking about relaxing. We have to relax, we have to refresh, we have to reflect, and we have to restore our faith that we are already winners. What happens when you realize that you are already a winner? Oh my gosh, when you know that you are already a winner, you automatically win. You automatically win, because even if you win or lose, you have already won. You know why? Because in your mind, you've already won. You've done better. Your timing was better than the last time. You weren't feeling well, but you still pushed forward. You found out some bad news, but you still were able to do the race. Whatever the reason is, you are still winning. Right? You still got out here and ran the race when someone else didn't even qualify. You are still winning, right? So when you're talking about some tips when it comes time for running, right? Now I used to run, but this was many moons ago. The first thing you have to do is prioritize your energy. Prioritize your focus. So I can't be arguing with my boyfriend. I can't get into it with my homegirl and think I'm going to go out there and be focused to run. I have to realize that if I have too many people that are texting me, I shut my phone down. Especially on filming day, I make sure that I say, look, you're doing the most. You know, I got a show today. I don't have time to talk to you. That's it. I'm not going to respond anymore. I don't have time, because I have to prioritize where my energy goes to. I have to prioritize where my focus is. And right now, my focus is making sure that I can give you all wholeheartedly everything that I have, so that way I can give it to you without any hesitation, any hindrance, right? So self-positive talks. So when I do have those days where I'm hurting, I'm tired, my energy is low, guess what I have to do? Quita, you got this. Quita, it's only 30 minutes. You can go ahead and give them everything they need, and go ahead and you get to take this makeup back off and lay back in this bed. Whatever I have to do to talk myself through it, I have to say, you are going to win. You're going to do what you got to do. This is only but a second. You can do this. Right? There's times where you are already exhausted and you have to tell yourself, I can do this. I got this. I can do this. Right? So visualizing the win. What does visualizing the win look like to you? So in your various things that you are battling with, that you are fighting with, what is it that you are visualizing when it comes to your goals, or your visions, or the things that you are working on right now that you are running towards? What does that mean to visualize to you? Does that mean, so for example, my goal was to be a wife. So in order for that to happen in my eyes, I visualized me having the house. I woke up, I had to go and get the kids ready. I had to go and start breakfast. I had to do this. I had to make sure the husband was taken care of. I had to make sure that the kids got their stuff, make sure that everything's in their book bag, whatever. To me, I had to visualize that if that's what I wanted. But then in order for me to get there, I also had to visualize, what about those days when you were hurting? How are you going to press forward? So those positive self-talks, get them out the door. You can get back in the bed. Get them out the door. Get them back in the bed. Right? So whatever it is, those visualizations, when it comes time, okay, there you go, manifesting it. So if you have to continue to say it till you see it, then do that. Do exactly that, right? So make sure that your goals are SMART goals, meaning they're specific. So this is where I failed at, y'all. I said I just wanted a husband. I did not specify what type of husband, and I didn't specify what I needed from the husband. I just wanted a husband. So be very specific when you're headed towards your goals. Okay. Measurable. If you do get to your goal, is this just the first step? Are you able to do more? How are you measuring it? At what level are you measuring it? Attainable? Is it a realistic thing that you can really put your hands to, right? When I am thinking about my goals, I'm thinking, Quita, is this realistic, or are you just in la la land again? Are you just, right? Are you just saying, I think this can happen, maybe? Is it really attainable, right? And if it is, am I being realistic, and is it relevant? Is it relevant to the end goal, or am I just throwing a bunch of stuff in there and then hoping that it's going to come out good? Kind of like a stew. When you just throw everything in there and then you be like, oh, that ain't go, I shouldn't have put that in there. That ain't go good. No, I shouldn't have done that. Is it relevant to what I am trying to get to? All right. And the last thing is time bound. I used to get a lot of slack about my goals being time bound. For example, with dating, I said, you got 6 months to a year to know what you're going to do with me. And they'd be like, what? And I said, 6 months to a year. And they used to say, well, why is that? And I said, because within 6 months to a year, you know, if I am still girlfriend material, if I am something more that you want to have into your life. I'm not saying we have to be married in a year, but you at least should be on the verge of proposing in a year. I don't have the time to give you and offer you, invest 2 years, 3 years into you at 38, almost 39 years old. I do not have the timeliness to devote to you. My goals are to still be a wife and to be a mother. So at 38, almost 39, with a chronic illness, I do not have the time to devote 3 years to someone to wait for them to say, I don't think I want to do this no more. I'm sorry. What? So in order for me to meet my goals, I have to set a limit on there. And if I go a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, I am not going to invest more than what I think is worth in order for me to reach my goals. Okay. The last thing, another thing, I guess I should say last thing. Another thing is act like a winner. If you think about some of the old school, like boxers and stuff, they didn't think twice about it. They came out there, they was like, I'm the best. I'm Muhammad Ali. I swing like a butterfly, sting like a bee, whatever he said. Right? He came out there with a winner's mentality. He didn't have to have nobody else pump him up and say, hey man, you a winner. Hey man, you gonna win. These track stars, they took off running. What was it? The Bolt? Usain Bolt? Something like that. Didn't nobody have to tell him he was a winner. In his mind, he was already a winner. All he had to do was get to the finish line in order to show everybody else he was a winner. You see what I mean? So you have to act like a winner. You have to have the mindset of a winner. You have to be motivated enough to be a winner. So when it comes time for someone else to see that you're a winner, you're like, baby, I've been that. Just like I said before, somebody can see that I'm a wife. I already say, baby, I've been that. I've been a winner. I've been a wife. You just not seeing it. Sorry for you. Right? Because you have to already know that you are before you are. Does that make sense? All right. So you also have to accept negative thoughts and say, okay, this relationship might not work, but that's okay. Okay, that was negative for a moment. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, negative thoughts. And we're going to keep on pressing, because what if it's great? And what if it works out? And what if we are happy? Right? You have to take the time to allow the negative thoughts to happen, but also dismiss them, because we don't want to give too much energy to them when you are trying to win your race. All right? We have to live in the moment, live in the here and now. When we live in the tomorrow, we put additional stress on ourselves that we don't need to. Okay? Most important, do your best. Don't give up. When things get hard, when things get frustrated, let me tell you something. I am a red flag runner, meaning if I see the red flags, I'm going to give it like, is that a red flag or is that an orange flag? Maybe it's like a red-orange flag. Maybe it's not really. I get close enough, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm out. But Quita, don't you want to work? I don't want to work nothing out. We good. Nope. That's the end of that. All right. So I am a red flag runner. Once I see one red flag, I thought it was an orange flag. I see another red flag, I'm done. Right? I am not going to stay around. But every little obstacle that comes your way does not mean that you should already run off the field. What happens if I'm a hurdler and I run off the field at the first opportunity that I see a hurdle? What happens? I'm disqualified. I have automatically disqualified myself from even having the opportunity to run the race, to even finish the race. I have already failed because I took myself out of the race. How many times have you taken yourself out of the race? All because you like, that's an obstacle, I ain't got time for that. Can I walk around it? And they're like, no, baby, you gotta go over it. You like, no, can I go under it? They're like, no, you gotta go over it. Meaning you gotta go through it. You gotta make your way over it. It's gonna be there, but you still have everything in you to step right over it, to step through it. Okay. I had to check myself for that one, y'all. I had to okay. Because you win some and you lose some, and you're not always gonna win. Right? You are not always going to win, and that's okay. When I look at people that have only been in 2, maybe 3 relationships in their adult years, I'm like, well, where have I failed at in life? But at the same time, I know because I put a time limit on my goal, and if my goal does not look like, if this ain't the right race for me, if I know that I am not a shot put, I think that's the word, component, or opponent, sorry, and that's not the component that I am usually competing in, I'm like, oh, sorry, I thought this was something else, never mind. I thought this was long jump. I can long jump. I can long jump. I'm going to jump right on over this situation. I'm going to jump right there. However, we have to realize that whatever component of the race that we're in, we need to be prepared for it, right? So what areas are y'all working on right now? What areas are y'all working on in life, in relationships, in business partners, in reaching your goals? What things are you working to, what things are y'all working on right now? So while y'all are typing that in the comments, things that we need to work on in order to get to success is, in my opinion, first thing is confidence. I think we lose out a lot because our confidence level is so low, because we have been disappointed with the way that things have happened in the past. So once that has already knocked down our confidence level, the business failed, our partner left us, we were pregnant and had a miscarriage, we have pregnant, went all the way through, had a stillborn, whatever it is, we have to remember, if our confidence is low, then we will definitely shortchange ourselves. All right, so I see patience, Monica, girl, you already know. Quita ain't got no patience, honey. I'm working on that thing too. So loving and learning myself, that is a big one. Well, I think once we learn how to love and learn and love ourselves, then not before, but then we will be able to love and learn someone else. I think we usually rush off and we want to learn and love somebody else, and then when they're like, well, what do you like? You're like, whatever you like. Kind of like on Coming to America, whatever you like. What do you like to drink? Whatever you like. Getting ready to be the little chick where you hop it on one foot, barking like a dog, just to make somebody else happy, right? Because you don't know what makes you happy. You don't know what gives you peace. You don't know what gives you strength. You don't know what your triggers are because you have not faced them. You know what? You know what? Yeah, I ain't dealing with you right now. Talk about destined. Composure. So being able to compose ourselves in the midst of the storm. When everything crazy is going on around you, it's easy for us to react. Your spouse is cutting up, the kids is cutting up, it's easy for you to react. Hold your composure. Talk to your spouse with some sense. Babe, can we talk? I ain't got time for that right now, man. You better go somewhere. You get on my nerve, man. Not in front of the kids. Can we go talk in another room? Composure. Your kids cutting up in the grocery store. You get real close and you do it with a smile like your mama used to do in church. Keep cutting up and I'm going to beat your tail. That's right. I'm going to beat your tail. All right? You don't want me to beat your tail in front of these people because you don't want mama to go to jail. Okay. Yeah. So, composure, your character. What does your character say about you as a person? Are you strong? Are you hardworking? Are you determined? Are you a fast learner? Are you always joyous? Are you always giving? Are you always loving? Do you always got a smart mouth? Do you got a little bit of road rage? Right? What does your character say in order to build you? Are you determined? And no matter what, you ain't gonna let nobody tell you that you can't do it? Okay. If you are determined, then you are ready. Right? Concentration. We have to concentrate on the things that will make us and take us to a higher level of blessings. Right? A higher level of winning. So concentration, commitment. You got to be committed to that thing. It's easy for us to let go of it once we're not getting where we want it to be. Right? If we want it to be in a place of, if you want it to be in a place of halfway in, halfway out, it's easy to do that. But when you got to be committed to one thing and one person all the time, you're like, oh, do I really want to be committed? I don't know. Right? So, all right, looking at your capabilities. I might want to run track, but with this fibromyalgia, it's probably not a good thing. If I walk too far, my shin splints act up. So, am I really going to be a long distance runner? Absolutely not. If I need to run to the car before this pack of wolves get me, do you think I'm going to make it? Absolutely. I'm committed to making it to the car. Am I capable? I bet you I will be then. Courage. It's going to take courage in order for us to get to being a winning team, okay? You have to have the courage. You have to be in control of your emotions, in control of your, in control of our reactions, in control of our traumas, our triggers, our disappointments, our frustrations, our angers, right? The thing that angers us, we have to be in control of it. The choices that we make. So we don't always make the best choices. I am guilty of that as well, right? I don't always make the best choices. But just because I don't make the best choices don't mean that I should automatically have that negative talk of myself. I should take the time out to do that positive self-talk again. Go back to the things that we talked about. Refocus my energy. Do that positive self-talk. Get myself back in alignment because of the choices that I make. If those choices are the wrong choices, do I automatically shut down and say, I can't do this? forget it. Because as soon as you make that choice, you have automatically lost. Automatically lost. So we have to see it. We have to visualize it. When we see it, then we visualize it. When we feel it, we find our zone. That's like that little moment you like, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, yeah, I got my rhythm, right? Find your zone. Find your rhythm. Find the things that that get you to that place, right? And if you trust it, if you put the work in, it's gonna happen. It's gonna work out for you. I remember when I was testing for promotion, and every time I'd be like, yeah, I study, I study, until I realized that I was studying the wrong way. Did I put the work in? I did, but it was the wrong work, right? I was working, but it was the wrong type of work. I was working, so my study method was just to read the book. Well, guess what? Quita's reading comprehension is not there. Quita has to write it down because I'm a tactile learner, which means I got to be doing something with my hands. Clicking on the computer, writing things down, drawing it out, because that's how I learn. So in order for me to get there, I had to trust that it was going to work, but only if I put in the work, right? So in order for you to get there, it's going to take some stretching. How many of y'all really stretch on a daily basis? How many of y'all really stretch? Probably none of y'all, right? None of y'all stretch. At least the ones that's on here right now, none of y'all stretch. And it's not always comfortable, especially when you're still hurting from the last disappointment. The disappointment with your finances, the disappointment with your relationships, your disappointment with your career, your disappointments with your whatever. Then I'm telling you to stretch. Well, this hamstring still hurt. You gotta stretch it. You gotta stretch it out. You're like, man, I don't want to stretch, right? That's stretching because now you're in the hurdles. If you do not stretch, are you prepared for what's getting ready to come? Are you prepared to stretch out and get over that, right? Get over that hurdle. Get over that thing that is right there as your obstacle. Because when you do your hurdle, you gotta do all kind of stuff to get over it, right? You can't let that toe, because as soon as that toe tip it over, you out. So everything you have has to get over it. And you got to be able to keep in stride, keep stretching, keep going, right? But if you don't stretch, what happens? Something's going to lock up. Your leg not going to get its back as far as it needs to. It's not going to be able to get over the way it needs to. Whatever way you need to get over it, it's not going to happen. So, if you are trying to get over these obstacles, you might need a little energy boost. What are you going to use for your energy boost? Who do you count on to be your energy boost? Or what do you count on to be your energy boost? Is it your children? Is it your the fact that you want to be a millionaire, or that you have bills? Because that's usually my energy boost. When I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed, then I'll be like, oh, Quita, you're going to be AWOL and you ain't going to be able to pay these bills. Get on up, girl. Get on up. What is your energy boost? What is it that you use, or what thing, what person do you use in order to motivate you to keep going? When you're like, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing this. What do you use? Right? So for me, there's another motivational speaker that I listen to named Anaya Divine, and Anaya is amazing. And she said, you have made magic out of your wounds. And because of that, you have every right. Sorry, my hair is tickling my back. You have every right to be cautious about who you allow back into your circle, basically, right? You allow someone into your circle, are they really, should they really be allowed to feast upon your fruit still? You worked hard in order to make your wounds now become your fertilizer, right? And you are yet still growing. And while you are just now starting to bear fruit of your healing, should you allow someone else just to take a bite out of you, just to continue to take from you? The answer is no. We deserve so much more. We need so much more. What are we giving? What are we receiving? What are we looking for that is going to motivate us, that's going to give us that energy boost, instead of us letting someone else continue to eat off of us and to take away from us, right? What about this? So for relationships, maybe we need to be stretched away from people, or stretched so we can run away from people who are scared to talk about their past relationships, their past traumas, their triggers. I know everybody don't agree with me, and that's okay. However, I feel like in relationships, we should be talking to our new partner about our past relationships and our past triggers. I don't want to be the one to trigger you again because I am unknowing of what that trigger may be. Your past business partners. If you had a bad relationship with another business partner, you need to be able to speak to your new business partner and say, these are the things that my last business partner did, and this is why I cannot, or I don't want to go back through that again. And these are the triggers. Whenever I see this, or I smell this, or I see that, then it automatically puts a bad taste in my mouth, right? If I have been in a relationship with a narcissist, I should be able to tell my new partner that I feel like these are narcissistic tendencies, and it makes me uncomfortable because it reminds me of my past relationship, right? It makes me feel uncomfortable because I feel like I am putting myself back in that situation. I am reliving it. Now it's opening up a wound. I should be able to speak my truth, right? And if we don't understand about their past traumas and their past situations, how can we determine if they have healed from them and if they are willing and available to love again, to receive love and to give love? Because if some people are so hurt, they don't believe that love is still available to them. So because of that, they are automatically shut down. They shut down because they don't want to give love, because they like, I ain't got that much to give, no way. I ain't giving it away. And they don't have room to receive love. Okay? So I think that's important. Partners need to feel spiritually. They need to feel spiritually protected. They need to feel emotionally safe, in a safe space. They need to feel trusted. They need to feel financially available and free. No one should be in control of your finances. Okay? They need to feel encouraged to fulfill their dreams and their visions and their hopes and their dreams and their aspirations. And you need to say, babe, let's do it. What can I do to help you? I want to see you get there. I want to see you win. So if you need me to help you stretch, we can't go out to eat because we got to save this little bit of money to invest in a business. Okay, we're not going out to eat. Let's make it happen. Oh, we got to have this procedure done, but we don't really have the money. Okay, we got to stretch a little bit. What do we need to get rid of? Okay, no more internet or no more cable, or what we got to get rid of so we can take that extra money and we can put it towards what we need, right? We got to figure out what our partners need, whether that be an emotional, intimate partner or a friendship partner. Our partners, our ride or die, our homies, need to feel protected. They need to be protected in multiple ways too. But that comes with friendships and being able to explain to them what you need. So Anaya Divine also had a quote out there, and she said, a person who is not running, right? The person that's not running is connected to everything, but not attached to anything. And I was like, not attached to anything. And she said, attachment is rooted in fear. So if the attachment is rooted in fear, why would you want to be attached to anybody or anything? You can be connected to that person, but if your roots are in attachment, your roots are not in connection, it's rooted in fear. And you lose the fear of loss when you realize that you are already whole. The person that is adding to you is simply the icing on the cake. Okay? If you are already whole, I'm a whole cake. You hear me? I got cakes. I'm a whole cake. I don't need nobody else to make me a cake. If someone else wants to be the icing on me, they want to make sure that I am just added. I'm added to. I would love to have that. However, there should be no attachments in life. Exactly. I don't want anyone to be so attached to me. I want them to be connected to me. Okay? When you realize you're already whole, anything and everything else is a bonus. The question is, are you whole enough to win the race? Or are you dependent on someone else in order to win the race? Are you attached to someone else? Because when you're attached to that person, when they are trying to run, what are you doing? Slowing them down. Or are they attached to you? What are they doing? Slowing you down. I don't want to slow me down. No. We need somebody that's going to cheer us on. They're going to pick us up. They're going to encourage us. They're going to say, come on, because you got almost there. You almost there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right? No attachments, y'all. No attachments. Therefore, anything that is sitting and holding you back, that is an attachment rather than a connection, whether it be finances, relationships, businesses, whatever. Make sure that you are looking at where it's rooted in. All right. So you want to find yourself a therapist. If you need to. There is also a quote from that I seen somewhere else. I don't remember where. That I posted it, and it said things can be equally true. It said you can be resilient and need a break. You can give your all and need to be back, still need to back out. I've been there. I was put out. I went in there feet first, and still I got there, and I was like, oh wait, I think I made a mistake. And it was like, it's too late. You already put all feet in. You got under the water. You said I do. I was like, wait. I think I made a mistake. Right? You can be independent and still need help. I am so independent. I say I am independent. I don't need. And then it's days that I'm like, but I need somebody to send food. I need somebody to cook for me. I need somebody to run my bath water because I don't have the energy. I need help. Right? We can be sure of things, and then things can change. Like, I was sure that I was ready to be in love and ready to, and then I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not ready for marriage. Maybe I need to rethink this thing all over again. Right? I can be kind and still have boundaries. And I think some people don't realize that. You can be kind and still say, I would love to, however, not today. Well, what you mean? You said you would love to, but not today. Well, you're very nice. However, I don't want to give myself intimately to you. What? I thought you liked me. I thought we was rocking. But I don't want to give myself to you intimately. There's a difference. There's boundaries. Thank you, Beth. Right? There still has to be something that keeps you in the race for yourself. There still has to be things that you need in order for you. You don't need attachments. You need things that you can shed off, throw off if you need to. I used to see someone that ran a race, and she used to wear bracelets, and she had on like the little arm sleeves. And if while she was running, she felt like it got in the way, you know what she started to do? Take it off. Toss it off to the side. Take it off, toss it off to the side. When we are in our place of running, there are things that we have to take off. There are things we have to get rid of that is holding us back. Okay? So in order for us to run this race called life, we have to be honest with ourselves. We got to be consistent with ourselves before we can be consistent with anyone else. We got to be patient. And we have to still realize that we're not perfect in the place of us being loving. Okay? We still have scars that show up. And every once in a while, we thought that scar was healed, and we realized that we still have some healing yet to do. right? And because we're not perfect, there's a lot of things in us that are still triggers, and this is why it's important for us to talk, because while you're still trying to run, all of a sudden they're going to say something and it's going to be a trigger and it's going to trip you up. And when you fall flat on your face, you're going to say, man, because of you. Now the blame game starts to happen. Not what we're headed for. Continue to know how to play the game. If you know how to run the game or run the race and know how to play the game, you know what you need to do in order to win. So then the people that's behind you, watching you, they're trying to figure out how you do this so effortlessly. You make it look easy. But it's because you know how to play the game. All right, y'all. So that's my time. I have gone way over my time today. Way over. That's because I started late. I was waiting for people to join in before I went ahead and got started. But for those of you that rocked out the whole time with me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shondell, thank you so much. So thank y'all for rocking with me. That is my time. Make sure that you join me again on 9 August. Same time, same place. 9 August, I will not be here. I plan on being out of town, so I may or may not have a guest speaker, so you don't want to miss this, okay? So 9 August at same time, same place, and our topic will be, why are you asking all these questions? So why are you asking all these questions? 9 August, I cannot wait to see y'all. So until then, love, peace, joy, and happiness. I'll give everything that I have to you, and I pray that you all will continue to receive that in return. So don't forget, and I love y'all. I will see y'all soon. Y'all be safe out there.